So I have looked at many healthcare analytics portfolios, and you'd be surprised, but almost all of them have the same 3 projects. They have the COVID dashboard, they have some type of emergency department project, and a generic retail sales analysis that has nothing to do with healthcare at all. And if that sounds like your portfolio, I need you to hear this. It's not helping you get hired. It might actually be working against you. So here's what's actually happening. A hiring manager in healthcare analytics is looking at your resume for maybe 60 to 90 seconds. They might click on your GitHub and they see the same exact project that they've been seeing 50 times this month. And don't worry, it's not because you're not smart. It's because you look identical to everyone else in the pile and you want to find a way to stand out. So today I'm going to be giving you 5 project ideas that are actually built around real healthcare workflows. The kind of problems a hospital or health system actually pays to solve. And guys, I'm going to be showing you exactly why each one will put you in a better position of getting hired. And before the list, let's be honest about something. Many tutorials will teach you the basics of SQL, the joins, the visualizations, things like that. And they'll be using whatever data set is easiest to grab. Nobody is going to be handing you a claims file. Nobody hands you an EHR extract. So you learn the skill on the same data set every course reuses over and over again. And then you wonder why that project doesn't land in an interview about healthcare analytics. So guys, here's the fix to that. When the same skills like SQL, Python, and visualization are applied to a business question a health system actually has, it makes a big difference. All right, so project number 1, patient no-show analysis. Every outpatient clinic in the country loses real money to no-shows. It happens all the time. No hospital or clinic wants an empty slot that could have been filled, and it's a lost revenue and a wasted provider hour. So here's what you do in this project. You pull an appointment data set, you build out a no-show rate by day of the week, by lead time between booking and appointment, by patient demographics, by clinic or specialty. And then you go one step further by building a simple risk flag. Which patients are statistically more likely to miss their next appointment. So what this project does is that it lands because it will show that you identified a very expensive problem and showed which levers reduce it, like reminder calls, overbooking strategy, or just whatever your data points to. And that's the language of someone who understands healthcare operations, which is very, very valuable. And for the tools, you use SQL for appointment data pull and aggregation, and Python if you're building the risk flag with something like logistic regression, and Tableau or Power BI to visualize the no-show trends. I also made a full video on this very project, and I show you how to do it end to end. So if you're interested, please feel free to check it out. The second project is a readmission risk analysis. And this one has a built-in hook because it's tied directly to CMS penalties. Hospitals get financially penalized for excess 30-day readmissions on specific conditions. And this one is really important because every health system analytics team has somebody watching this number. For the project, you're going to use a hospital admissions data set. You're going to identify readmissions within 30 days and break down risk factors like length of initial stay, discharge disposition, comorbidities, and whether a follow-up appointment was also scheduled. Also, to make this stand out, point out which factor moved the needle the most and what that would mean operationally. For the tools, you're going to use SQL to structure the admissions data build, modeling risk factors, and finally use Tableau or Power BI for the final breakdown to build some nice visualizations. For project number 3, do a claims denial analysis. I feel like almost nobody builds this one, which is exactly why it's valuable. Every health system has a revenue cycle team that's drowning in claims, wrong codes, missing prior auth, eligibility issues, you name it. If you can show denial rate by payer, by denial reason code, and estimate the dollar impact of the top 3 denial categories, you are speaking directly to a pain point that revenue cycle leadership deals with every single week. This project alone can make your portfolio stand out because it signals that you can understand the money side of healthcare, not just the clinical side. For the tools, you're going to use SQL for aggregating claims by payer and denial code, and Excel or Power BI to build out the dollar impact breakdown. You can even use Tableau, which is what I prefer. Now for project number 4. We're finally getting to talk about something AI related, And this one is going to be an AI model performance and bias monitoring project. So if you aren't aware already, hospitals are rolling out AI risk scoring tools for things like sepsis, readmission, and deterioration faster than they can properly monitor them. And there's going to have to be somebody to check whether these tools are actually accurate and whether they perform worse for certain patient groups. For the project, take a data set that already includes AI or risk model predictions alongside actual outcomes. And luckily, there are public ones with sepsis or readmission risk scores already generated. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna build out accuracy metrics like true positive rate and false positive rate. And then you're gonna break those metrics down by demographic group like age, race, and insurance type to check whether the model performs consistently across patients or quietly favors one group over another. And this project will stick out because it's directly tied to where the industry is heading, which is AI governance and model monitoring. It shows that you can understand both the technical side of evaluating AI and the real world stakes of AI bias in healthcare, which is a conversation that every health system is having right now. Now for the tools, you'll need SQL to calculate accuracy metrics and segment by demographic group. And then you'll need Tableau or Power BI to visualize model performance and any disparities across groups. And Python here is optional, but it's useful if you want to go deeper with things like statistical significance testing, but it's not required to build a strong version of this project. And finally, for the fifth project, social determinants of health paired with outcomes data. And guys, this right here is the most forward-looking project on this list because the entire industry is shifting towards value-based care, where reimbursement is fully tied to outcomes. Now for the actual project, you're gonna combine a public health outcomes data set with SDOH indicators like income, transportation, access, and food access by the region. And then you're gonna look at the correlation with outcomes like readmission or chronic disease management. Now what this project will show is that you understand where the industry is heading, and that's genuinely a differentiating thing to put in front of a hiring manager, especially in 2026. Now for the tools, you can use Python and Pandas to merge the SDOH and outcomes datasets, SQL if you're pulling from multiple tables, and Tableau's mapping features to show the regional patterns visually. And when you do that, Tableau dashboards look really, really nice. Quick and important, but you're probably wondering, where do you even get the actual healthcare data to build these projects with? Lucky for you, there's a lot of free sources online, and a few of my go-to sources are Kaggle, which has real healthcare specific data sets. Then there's also cms.gov and healthdata.gov, which publish public claims and hospital quality data directly from the government. There's also PhysioNet, which hosts clinical datasets like vitals and ICU data for research use. And if you want data that's more realistic, there's a tool called Cynthia that generates fake but realistic patient records with no privacy concerns at all. Now here's a mistake that you want to avoid when you're building out these projects. Do not present it as just a dashboard. And if you do that, there's no narrative. You need to be able to show what healthcare business problem that your project can solve. A dashboard just shows that you can build, but you need to be able to show a hiring manager that you can answer business questions by giving them something that they will trust. So guys, for every project that you build, end it with a 1-paragraph summary. What's the finding? Why does it matter? And what would you recommend? And something like that will definitely increase your chances of getting hired. And quick note on the packaging, because this matters almost as much as the project itself. Write a clear README on GitHub. Start off with a business question, then go into your approach and what you found and what you'd recommend. And also as a bonus, post about it. A short LinkedIn post walking through your finding and your recommendation does 2 things. Number 1, it puts the project in front of people who might be hiring. And number 2, it forces you to practice explaining your work out loud, which is what you'll be doing in an interview every single time. So all of these projects that I mentioned are tied to a real business question that a health system actually cares about. And guys, if you could take one thing from this video, make it this. Stop asking what data set should I use and start asking what problem am I solving? And that mindset shift alone will make your portfolio stand out. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and If it helped you out, hitting subscribe would mean a lot to me. And before you go, I built the Health Data Analyst Launchpad Kit exactly for this, and it's linked in the description below if you want a head start. And if you want the deeper stuff that I don't put in videos, that's what the newsletter's for. And the link to that is in the description below. And if you're new here, my name is Sharif. This is Infomester, and I'll catch you in the next video.